Hey guys, this is a horoscope for Capricorn for the upcoming Taurus season, starting on the 20th of April until the 20th of May. So, we have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about with many astrological events. And first, let's say what we are going to cover in this video. So, we have the Sun in Taurus and Mercury moving to Aries. We have Mars moving to Gemini, a new moon in Taurus, Venus moving to Aries, Mercury going direct, full moon in Scorpio, Taurus, the North Node enters Leo and the South Node enters Aquarius, and Mercury moves back to Taurus again. So you can see a lot of things are happening, and let's find out how they will influence you personally. So, of course, the most important, on the 20th of April, we have the transit Sun entering Taurus and your fifth house. And during this whole period, the transit Sun will be here in your fifth house. So actually, that's a very positive transit for you because fifth house is one of the most positive houses in the horoscope in astrology. So that's mostly about entertainment, that's about hobbies, that's about the things that you love to do, not only like, but you really love to do. So you can find yourself that during this month you want to spend more time on your hobbies, on the things that are related with entertainment. At the same time, fifth house is related with creativity, so you might be more creative during this month. You might create some new stuff. You might be inspired to to build up something new. And fifth house is the things that makes us feel satisfied. So probably you're going to enjoy that process very much. At the same time, Taurus is trining your own sign Capricorn, so there is a very positive harmony between the energy of these signs, so that's a very positive indication as well. Fifth house is related also with romantic relationships, with falling in love. So you might be really in love. It can be in love with another person, or just with the stuff that you are doing, or even with your life in general. So just enjoy life. That's the main idea of this month for you. At the same time, on the same day, on the 20th of April, we have the transit Mercury, which is retrograde, moving back to Aries and your fourth house. We know that Mercury retrograde is not the best time to start something totally new. We should be careful with all kinds of information, with our communication with others. And in your case, it affects mostly the area of home, the area of family and property. So first of all, be careful how you communicate with your family members, because there might be some kind of misunderstandings. Generally, the communication may not be very fluent. On the other hand, it's possible also to have some kind of misunderstandings, like somebody says something and the other person gets it in the wrong way, and that leads to a problem in your communication. We said that fourth house is related with property, so Mercury retrograde there suggests that you should be careful with some kind of documents related with your property. You definitely should avoid buying new property, signing contracts related with your property. So just be careful with that and try to avoid starting something totally new. Mercury retrograde, on the other hand, can be a great transit to restart communication with your family members. For example, if there was some kind of distance or conflict, or for some reason you have been not close, then Mercury retrograde can help you to reconnect to each other. So that's the positive side of the transit for you. So next we have on the 21st, Mars entering Gemini. So the transit Mars will enter your sixth house in Gemini, and it will stay there for around 2 months. That's the time that Mars spends in one sign. So that's a long period, and Mars is related with lots of concentrated energy, with putting a lot of efforts into something. So in your case, that affects the area of work, your work environment, the work process, your responsibilities. So you might be, first of all, highly motivated to achieve something in your work. You may have even more physical energy, more power that you can put in some kind of work project, and especially if it's related with some kind of ideas, because Mars is transiting also the sign of ideas, the sign of communication, of speech. So you may have a lot of ideas that you can use in your work process. You can implement them right now. At the same time, Mars always brings the the chance to have some kind of conflicts, for some kind of problematic situations. So it makes us more impatient, unwilling to make compromises. So that can bring some kind of challenges in your communication with work associates, with people that you are have mutual business. So be aware of that. And if there is a conflict situation, then now it might be expanded from Mars transiting there. But at the same time, Mars can allow you to say the things that you want to say, because Gemini is the sign of speech. So even if there is a conflict, this can help you to solve this situation, to make it obvious, and to admit to each other what's the real problem. So that's another positive side of this transit for you. And next we have on the 26th of April a new moon in Taurus. So that's again in your 5th house. And as we know, the new moons are great for starting something totally new, for being inspired to start something that you would like to grow. So it can be a new creative project, first of all, especially for people who are an artist or work in the show business. They might decide to start something totally new. But for all of us, that's a great transit, that's a great lunation, to start doing something that you love, to start something that will make you feel happy and fulfilled. And of course, that's a wonderful lunation for a new romantic relationship in your life. Especially for those who are single, this is a great time that you can be invited on a wonderful first date, or you may decide to reveal your feelings in front of another person. Or just this might be the time when you may start feeling a lot of fresh, like totally new emotions and inspiration in your life. For those who would like to have children, this is a wonderful lunation as well, because 5th house is related with children. So that can bring you a wonderful option. And yeah, for all kind of hobbies, everything that pleases you and makes you feel happy. Next we have on the 28th of April, Venus enters Aries. So it will enter your 4th house. And Venus is the planet of beauty, the planet of harmony, of positive emotions. So transiting your 4th house, it can bring some positive emotions in your home. It can improve your family environment, the communication with family members, and generally the atmosphere in the place where you are living. Something important to say is that previously we had Venus retrograde in Aries in your 4th house. So it's very possible that there might have been some kind of complications for you. Things might have been not so fluent. There might have been a lack of harmony, and all kind of situations related with your home and family members. But now that Venus is transiting through the same sign, the same house in your horoscope, but this time it's direct, you may have the opportunity to solve this situation, to correct what hasn't been, working very well for you. And it's even more important that On the 3rd of May, we have Mercury turning direct in Aries and 4th house again. So the two planets that were retrograde in this sign and house now are turning direct, and they're still in the same sign and house. So it suggests that generally the situation in your home, with property stuff, with family members, communication, this all this stuff should improve for you, and you may have the opportunity to fix what didn't work for you and to improve the situation. So you have a green light for starting new things in this area, like buying new property, changing your home, moving to a different place, and improving your communication with your family. So that's actually very good news for this area of your life. And next we have on the 10th of May a full moon in Scorpio Taurus. So the transit sun will be in Taurus in your 5th house, and the moon is in Scorpio in your 11th house. So the full moons, they are great for materialization, for achieving visible results. So this can be a culmination of some kind of creative project that you have started, something that you have put your heart into, and you have been inspired to create. That's a keyword for 5th house, something that you create. So something that you have created might be materialized and might be there might be a culmination of that process. At the same time, the full moon activates two houses that are opposing each other, which means that these are like two impulses pulling in the opposite directions, and we need to find the balance. So in this case, 5th house is about our personal desires, what we want to achieve personally, and 11th house is more about our social goals, about the needs of society, the needs of other people, our role as a team player. So we need to find the balance between this stuff. And remember that you are consciously aware of the situation, about your personal desires and what you want to achieve. And unconsciously, which is the moon, you might be influenced by society, by the needs of others, by what other people want you to do. And you need to find the balance. You need to become aware of the situation, to find out your patterns of behavior and what you need to set free. The full moon is the great time to set free from old models of behavior that are no longer needed and useful in your life. And after that, so on the 9th of May, actually, we have a very karmic transit. So we have something life-changing, which is the transit of the North Node into Leo and your 8th house, and respectively the South Node, which enters Aquarius, and your 2nd house. So these transits last around 1 year and a half. So that's big long period, and that's related with our karma. This is what we have deserved and what we should focus on. So the North Node defines the right direction, defines it has a very similar influence to Jupiter, and it shows areas where you can grow, you can expand, you can achieve success. So 8th house, so in your horoscope, it affects the area of resources and money coming from other people. So you might be financially supported. For others, it might be financially depending, emotionally depending on other people. So you shouldn't try to be so much independent, especially about your security, about your finances. You shouldn't be afraid to count on another person, to count on your partner, and to allow him to help you financially. This transit is great also for people who are investing, who are working in the bank sector, in some kind of economical sector. You can grow, you can expand your projects and your activities. At the same time, the south node, which enters your second house, has a similar influence to Saturn. So it's related with some kind of restrictions. It's related with some kind of even possible losses. So it shows the area where you shouldn't be so concentrated. And that's related with your personal resources, your own money. So this might be a time when you can gain more financial incomes coming from others than from your personal activities. This is not the time to try to earn everything on your own and to try to achieve your stability on your own. Instead, don't be afraid to count on others, to rely on them. That's the best strategy for you. But in general, this transit of the nodes can activate the area of finances generally. So you can achieve success, but as I said, this is coming from partnerships. This is coming from some kind of, coming from other people in general. And finally, so on the 16th of May, we have the transit Mercury moving to Taurus and your 5th house. So that's a great transit related with the opportunity for some new romances, to communicate with people that you may fall in love with, to receive some invitations as well. And of course, Mercury is the planet of ideas, the planet of our mind and thinking. 5th house is the house of creativity and inspiration. So you may have some really inspiring ideas. Your ideas might become more creative. You may, get a clearer idea what you would like to create, what you would like to achieve. So for people who are writing, or who need inspiration, that's a very productive time and very positive transit. So as you can see, there are lots of events, lots of things happening. The most important for you during this month is about creativity, about your personal desires, about entertainment, hobbies, and finding joy and inspiration from your life. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next month again.